Okay, guys, so thanks for dealing with that intro there. Kind of weak cloud. Yeah, I can do a better cloud than that. I can do better. There we go. Anyways, I think this is becoming my just gimmick. There has to be a train in the background of my damn videos. I've gotten used to this idea. Whatever. Anyways, so I wanted to talk with you guys about something today. Now, yesterday I did these beautiful new coils. Beautiful, beautiful new coils. And I got a little bit too much juice on them thanks to a really, really shitty juice. Really gunked them up good, but let's see if it'll focus on them. So what those coils are twisted 24 gauge coil. Just dual strand twisted 24 gauge coils. And a lot of my videos, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I tend to use a single strand coil. Usually 20, oh these are 24, no these are 26 gauge. And then I had 24 on the previous videos that I've been doing. But sometimes I use 20 gauge. Sorry for the cough in there, as always. But I wanted to touch bases with you guys about the idea of some of these coils. And there's a few factors that I take into account when it comes to coils. I don't like Claptons. Now, yes, the vape is better on it, but with in certain aspects the vape is better. And I'll agree to that. But I don't like the ramp up time. I know my mod's powerful enough to deal with Clapton coils. I know that. But the thing is that it still takes more time to heat up that Clapton coil. I have to go at a higher wattage to get the same, to an extent, depending on how I wick, what type of juice I'm using, and how I build out a dual or triple stranded twisted wire, I feel like I get more out of that. But that's me. Again, everything that's said on this channel is subjective. Just like just about everyone else that's out there that does videos for anything with an opinion in it. It's subjective. Vapor production, yeah, you're going to get a hell of a lot more vapor off of a Clapton coil once that thing's ramped up and it's ready to go. You know, but I like to kind of save the battery life. Now, when I do dual twisted coils, I realize I'm using still a lot more, good lord, I realize I'm using a lot more power. But I can take it up to 62 watts and get that nice hot vape that I'm looking for. Even with like a single, and I realize this is not a good explanation because it's on this dealio. I still get a good amount of vapor production for what I'm looking for. It's still coming out of my mouth. Why do I keep looking at that? Oh, here. Go ahead. Hoping to keep everything centered, but just go ahead and ignore myself. I really hope that's centered. Well, just ignore myself. So, out of what I do, you know, what I need for my vaping experience, which is to keep me away from smoking cigarettes, what I need, these do it just fine. You know, for me to be able to enjoy what I enjoy when it comes to vaping and trying to have a different experience than the cigarette, which I think this is a key point. It's a different experience than the cigarette, but it's similar enough to where you can quit. That's what I think is important. Vaping for me is not, it is something that pulled me from inhaling burning ash and smoke into my lungs and exhaling the exhaust and polluting everybody else's experience in life, to taking something that has a liquid base and is water vapor and flavoring, and you can smell the flavoring and enjoy the aromatics of it. And yes, maybe my Jesus juice people don't like because they don't like that custardy smell, and somebody's like, what was that? But, maybe they don't want to smell the fruity smell, but it's not a cigarette. There's no smoke. And it took me a little while because I was vaping on these pens, and I'm trying to really get that like cigarette. When I was able to kind of change some of the association of that smoke coming out of my mouth with something else, with this, and kind of got into that cloud chase, kind of got into that flavor chase, and go off and look for it, and got into the build and took what I love, which is technology, and put it into understanding the technology that's in this and how those coils work, and how the wicking works, and how tight that should be packed. Is it too tight? Is it not too tight? And kind of getting into that direction. That's what I got into it for. So dual twisted and single strand work fine for me. I don't like Claptons, but other people do. And I can build a Clapton. I have no problem doing that. I just am not a huge fan of Clapton. So, mainly because I think I get the vape that I need out of it. Now, when we go into things, this is where it gets funny. And I tore this thing apart at one point in time just because I wanted to kind of adventure around in it. But I tore this puppy apart at one point in time. This Atom OCC style G Clapton coil. And this was somewhat one of my first experiences with a Clapton coil. I'm going to be honest, this thing was disappointing because it does not go up any higher. It's suggested 25 to 45 watts, and I actually have the K-box here inside of the package because I'm going to be doing a video up next with the K-box, and it suggests for the 1.5 10 to 26 watts. Alright, come on, go back in your box, you'll come out for review soon. And then it's still in this box too. And on the OCC coil, I can go from 15 to 60 watts. And, I mean, the OCC coil holds up pretty well, depending on the viscosity of your juice, to that 60 watts. This thing, I'm going to be honest with you, I never took the thing past 23 watts, just because I would just get burn hits almost immediately. So, that's that. I took all this apart. So, which I realize, is stupid of me. There we go. This isn't really a vlog. This is my opinion when it comes to coils. I'm not here to start a rant. If you love your Clapton coil, there are benefits to that Clapton coil that you look at and you're like, man, I love my Clapton coils. I'm perfectly excited about that idea. Honestly, I love that people enjoy different coils. Personally, for me, dual and triple strand twisted coils, I get a different vape. And it doesn't feel like it ramps up too long for me. I honestly try to not go anywhere past 65, 70 watts. Just because I use a series box mod. You're getting the same amount of milliamp hours, or mAh, in this as you get in this. You're not looking at any benefit. What you're looking at is you're looking at voltage increase of what it's capable of doing. It's able to pull a few more watts out of it, but you're not wanting to go beyond a certain amp load, and there's a lot to take into consideration. So that's my opinion of what coils I like to use. Will I use a Clapton coil? Heck yeah. If, somebody's got this sick ass build on a Rouleau, on an RX 200 or DNA 200 or what have you, I more than happily will give that thing a shot, and I enjoy the vape on it. I just, with the limitations of the devices that I have, the amount of ramp up time, and the fact that I'm content with what I get from the devices that I use, I just don't see any reason for it. This time it turned into a bashing Clapton. That being said, the experience that I get from, sometimes I just want a single strand coil and to enjoy that, and I think that I get a better flavor out of that sometimes, based off of how many wraps I'm doing and what I have on the deck, what deck I'm using, and right now this is what I have. But I'm going to be honest with you, I loved all day long a single infinity coil all day long on my phenotype when I had it. It's just that was a great vape, but then I would take it and do a 3/8 drill bit with a triple stranded coil and, you know, throw like 7 wraps on it, and I loved the vape that I got off of that. So there's not much of a difference depending on how you're building and what you're looking for, and I don't think it needs to be a massive argument, but that's me. I enjoy my vape that I get off of the dual twisted. I do. I enjoy it quite a bit, and it's not as much of a pain in the ass. That one definitely matters because I'm not taking 32 gauge wire and wrapping it around a 24 gauge just shit. Well, that went south because it kind of went that way, and then okay, I'm gonna wrap it around. But damn it, fucking you know, it's what it is. So I enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like it, put a like. If you don't like, why are you watching? I'm gonna be honest. If you don't like the videos, just move on. You know, because yeah, there are guys that make different content. We all make different styles of content. And then comment. I love having people in the comment section say hi and talking with me. And then subscribe if you want to watch more videos and know about them when they do come out. I try to put out 2 to 3 a week. So if it's 2 to 3 a week, but sometimes all 3 of those might be in a day. Depends on what I have. So thank you guys. Have a good one.